Welcome to the Core Women Podcast, the place for women entrepreneurs, authors, and self-starters looking to build community and gain valuable insights through expert interviews with women at the top of their game. Join your host, podcaster, producer, expert coach, entrepreneur, and author, Dr. Summer Watson, as she aims to inspire and empower you through these candid conversations. Lean in and embrace the journey. It's time to start the show. Here's your host, Dr. Summer Watson.
Today on the show, I would like to welcome Dr. Patricia Dunbar, who grew up in Portland, Jamaica, and immigrated to the United States to attend Bates College in Maine. She received her doctorate of dental surgery degree from Virginia Commonwealth University and completed her general practice residency at Bronx Lebanon Hospital Center. We have so much to talk about today, Dr. Dunbar. So let's jump right into this and welcome.
Thank you, Summer.
And by the way, everyone, this is my doctor. This is my dentist. So I close that right up front. So I absolutely adore her. So
the feeling is mutual. You've been great.
Look at my teeth, everyone. So all right. Well, before we dive into your professional aspects of your life, can you describe your journey thus far in one word?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to have to say that's determination. You know, I grew up in rural Jamaica, very small town, and I kind of knew early on what I wanted to do and made some very big decisions, took some very bold steps to get here. So I kind of had a vision in mind and was determined to get there. So I'm going to go with determination.
Ooh, I like that. That's what I just haven't heard before. And I've asked this question to many people. And I like your why. And let's get more into that why. Let's talk about your journey, such as where you grew up, what it meant for you to leave home and immigrate to the U.S., and what that transition looked like for you. And did you have any reservations at the time when you did it?
You know, I can't say I had reservations. I knew very early on, I knew from high school, and high school for us in Jamaica starts at 10 years old. So I knew very early that I wanted to go into dentistry. And at the time, there weren't many opportunities to study dentistry in Jamaica. So I knew early on I would have to leave home. And I was kind of excited. I was excited for something new. I was excited to explore this dream that I had. I was definitely scared to leave home, leave my family, come to a country that I had never been to before. But I think the thing that, motivated me, all my friends were doing it. So we were kind of in it together, even though we were going to different schools, different states across the US. I had people who were sharing the same experience, and we all kind of, had these dreams we were working towards and were very supportive of each other. So it wasn't, I can't say it was a hard decision or that I had reservations. For me, there was a lot of excitement and I was very happy to have the opportunity to do what I wanted to do.
What you mentioned here regarding peer group and supporting one another, I think is so important, not just as we're young, but throughout our personal and professional journey, having that strong and meaningful and impactful peer group. So to have that and know that they were going through the same journey, although they're going to different schools, they might have different interests. It was nice to be able to bond and to be able to talk about the potential, what might be, the excitement about it.
Absolutely.
So how fun is that? So you made that transition. You said you knew that you wanted to be a dentist early on, and you kept that focus. Why dentistry?
So for me, I didn't have routine dental care growing up in rural Jamaica. And I remember in primary school, which is kind of the equivalent of elementary school here, we had dental nurses come to our school just to do dental exams and dental checkups. And for me, it was something new and different. And so I was kind of excited by it. And then moving on to high school, I learned a little bit more about the career. And I was always into the sciences, always into healthcare. And it was a career that would allow me to kind of work 8 to 5, go home and, have my evenings, have family time. And I also liked the variety. It was healthcare, it was cosmetics. I think the biggest part of it is I didn't have to deal with losing patients. Like I could provide healthcare, but not have the emotional trauma, I guess, that comes with some healthcare careers. So for me, dentistry was very appealing. I love working with my hands. I love creating smiles. I love the interactions and the relationships that I develop with my patients. And it's been an amazing journey for me. And I'm very, very happy with the decision I made.
I love your whys. So we all have our whys as to what we do, and I love hearing about your why. Tell us maybe about some of the challenges you confronted and how you overcame these transitions or these challenges.
So the biggest challenge was getting used to Maine winters.
I bet.
Well, maybe I should say the first big challenge. As you can imagine, I went from like tropical, Jamaica, 80 degrees every day. And I remember when I was leaving home, my mom took me shopping for winter clothes, right? And we went to a store in Kingston and literally found one long sleeve shirt in the store. And it was just a little cotton long sleeve. It wasn't very wintry, but it was my only winter gear leaving home.
Oh, wow.
Well, needless to say, I wasn't very prepared. Yeah, but prior to getting to campus and settling down, I was of course, able to get more winter gear. But yeah, that was quite the transition. But I will say my college, Bates College, was extremely supportive. It's a very community-centered school. Bates has never had any type of exclusive organizations, like no sororities, fraternities allowed, just because they're so community-centered. And so I had a very good group of friends, supportive faculty. There were definitely ups and downs there, but overall, it was a very good experience. And then, there was, of course, being away from family, being away from home, just different culture, different environment. That took a little bit of getting used to, but I can say I've always had very supportive family, very supportive friends. That has certainly helped to make the journey a lot easier for me. So I've been very fortunate in that sense with the support that I've had over the years.
And that is something that's so critical in both our professional and personal journeys, is having that support network, having that connection with somebody, having that ability to bounce ideas back and forth and just say, hey, you know what? I need somebody, and they're there for you. And that's so important through all of our journeys. It helps, open doors. It helps open conversations. It helps so much. I love hearing that you had that strong support system, and that really helped throughout your journey. So you recently went from working with another dentist to opening your own practice. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I was so excited for you. So how did you know you were ready to go from working with another dentist to hanging up your own shingle?
It's something I've always wanted to do. I think ever since I graduated dental school, it's been a part of my plan. But, life and little changes along the way kind of slow things down. But I think I got to the point where I loved my job. I was with my previous practice for 9 years. As an associate, same office here in Stafford, Virginia. And it was great, but I think I was just ready for something different. And I figured, this is what I've always wanted to do. And that was the time to do it. So I really like the area. I like practicing here. I like my patients that I've treated here. And I also live in the area. I live 8 minutes from my office. So it was perfect. My son is in public schools here in Stafford. And so I wanted to stay and continue serving the area. So I decided it was time, and I enrolled in a startup dental course just to kind of walk you through the process. And so many of my friends from dental school, my very close friends, have gone through the process too. So again, I had that support system and those people to kind of hold my hand and bounce ideas and thoughts off of. And we still do it. I mean, even today, I'm like texting, I'm in the office, we're not seeing patients, but I'm on the phone with friends like, hey, I need to figure this out. How do you do it? When it's time. It's hard to say what exactly it is, but I just knew it was time. It was time to step out and build a practice I dreamt of, so I could work the way I wanted to work with the people I wanted to work with, treat my patients the way I wanted to treat them, and just kind of create the environment and the space that I wanted to be in every day. And it's been such a blessing and such a joy. I am so happy that I finally made the decision to do this. Absolutely no regrets. It's been great.
Well, I absolutely love what you've done. You did hang up your own shingle, that you are flourishing, that it's a beautiful office. I love the staff, of course,
Yeah.
it's a great experience, because a lot of people are fearful when they go to the dentist. And yet, when you, as a dentist, create a safe environment, that adds
Mhm.
to creating security and a sense of calmness with your patients.
I thought about all of that just in the design of the space, the layout, when you come in, when you step through the door, just what you see. My staff that I work with, I was very selective in the people I wanted on my team. Fortunately for me, the ladies that I'm with are both ladies that I've worked with before. And so I knew their personalities very well. I knew their work ethic, and I know how they treated people. And fortunately for me, I didn't just have to look at, applications online and pick from one. I was able to actually pick people who I knew personally, who I knew fit the kind of culture I wanted for my office. And so that was great for me in selecting my staff. And then just the layout, I had to design, well, I didn't have to, but I chose to design the space myself. And that was a little bit scary at first because I have no interior designing experience. But, the cost for a designer was very expensive in addition to the cost for everything else. And I was like, you know what? This is one thing. I don't know how to do plumbing or electrical or any of that stuff, but I can figure out how to design this place. So, so I was able to, pick everything out just from the floors to the counters and the cabinets. And it's so funny. When I first started the process, I met with my contractor and he was like, what do you have in mind for your office? And I was like, I don't really know yet, other than I want a water fountain in my office.
Oh, yes, I love that.
I think it's the Jamaican in me. I need water around me. So when you come in, there's a water fountain mounted on the wall, and we've had so many patients comment on how just soothing and calming it is when they're in the waiting room or when they walk in. It's just a very relaxed, like homely atmosphere. Very modern and open space, and we love it. We've gotten great feedback from patients, and that's what we wanted. We wanted patients to walk into an environment where they just felt relaxed, where they felt welcomed and comfortable, because like you mentioned, there's so much anxiety with dentistry, and we didn't want them to feel that walking into this space. We wanted them to be comfortable, and yes, there will be some anxiety, but we can, if your environment is relaxing, that takes a little bit of it off of you, and we can focus on managing the rest of it. So
Absolutely. Well, it definitely is a space where you walk into and you immediately feel calm, and it's clean and it's beautiful, and you did a great job with the design. And all those things are so important to people, right? In creating that experience and that culture that you're talking about. And by the way, I grew up in a beach town as well. So that water, that experience is very
uh-huh.
soothing for me as well. And I think for a lot of people. So bravo to you. Now, my next question for you is, Dr. Dunbar, with all that you do, you're a mom, you're a professional, you're a creative, like you do all these things. How do you take care of yourself in all of this?
You have to make time for it. It's so important because you have to be at your best to give to everybody else. And so I have a 9-year-old son, like I mentioned, and I have a wonderful ex-husband who we co-parent very well together. So my son shares time between us, and so the times that he's away, I can actually focus on me. And so that gives me some time to kind of recoup and, focus on the practice, focus on myself, and then just be refreshed and ready for him when he's home and ready to go, because he's definitely high energy. And then I don't know if I told you this, but I recently got engaged back in November. I
Yeah.
did. So, so yeah, so my fiance and I, we love to travel and just to get out, do stuff outdoors, exercise. He definitely keeps me active. He loves to be outdoors. getting into yoga a little bit more with him. So you really just have to, like I said, make time for yourself because you have to be at your best in order to give to everybody else.
Oh, fantastic. I love hearing that. And congratulations about the engagement. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, so much to celebrate this year. So many wonderful things that have happened, but also that you've also directed your journey in a way that you really wanted to go. And I love hearing that because we do have the choice, right? In how we want to really create our journey and what that looks like. So I'm so glad to hear this and all these great things that are being developed in your life and along your journey. So as we come to the close of the interview, my last question is, if you were to leave the listeners with some words of wisdom, what would they be?
I would just say dream big, dream very big, and go for it. Like there will be things and people and obstacles in your way, but they're all learning experience and they're growth experiences. Don't limit yourself. Reach out for advice, reach out for support. There's always someone there, and it's just finding the right person and finding the right resources. I'm here if there's anyone, any, young people, older people, anyone interested in dentistry and a career in dentistry. I love giving back to my community. I had people who supported me along the way, and I would certainly, love to give back in any way that I can. So if someone wants to come in and just chat with me about my journey, shadow, find out how I did it, I am here and I'm happy to talk to someone or provide whatever little advice I can, but just dream big. Don't let anyone discourage you. Put all the negativity aside, consider them growth experiences. There will be some of that, absolutely will be, but you just have to not be deterred by it and just keep going.
Thank you so much. I love those words of wisdom and that dreaming big and that you do give back to community. You do so much and you're such an incredible human being. So thank you, Dr. Dunbar, for joining me on the Core Women podcast today.
Thank you, Dr. Watson. It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely. You can follow Dr. Dunbar on Instagram and Facebook at Dunbar Smile Center and at dentistinstafford.com.
Thank you for joining us on the Core Women podcast with Dr. Summer Watson. We're so glad you're here and would love to connect more with you. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Core Women and on Twitter at Core Women 1. For more about Core Women and Dr. Watson, visit corewomen.com. Want more support and resources for amazing women like you? Great! Join Dr. Watson and Jen Fontanilla at the Life, Love, and Money Collective, a Core Women production that aids in understanding the key traits that might be getting in the way of living a life that you are absolutely passionate about. Connect with Summer and Jen and find out more at thelifeloveandmoney.com.